All right. Week 2, December, honorable mentions episode.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about this because we sat through together and we looked at all the episodes that didn't quite make it that we thought were interesting. There were some we had forgotten about that were actually really good. So,
and there's some I can't believe didn't win. Yeah, honestly,
there are some. There were some that were in months where a really, really good one won, and these other good ones just got lost.
We're not trying to gaslight you, but we're going to kind of try to gaslight you.
That's definitely not one of the episodes. So, all right, let's just get into it. Our first honorable mention, stalking, or just a little background.
This is the one where the girl's on a vacation with her fiance and his family, finds a computer open, finds out they did a background check on her and her closest family. Mm-hmm. And to his family, it's normal because I guess they got money.
Yeah, he says, oh, this is normal for us, that we do this very often. And we had a kind of debate about, I don't know, a debate, but we definitely had a discussion about whether or not this was gaslighting or not, because it might be normal for his family. I don't think it's normal in general. I don't think the majority of people experience this. But maybe it is normal for his family, but he had a very skewed idea of what is normal. And she had a pretty reasonable reaction.
And then also, like, the crossing of boundaries, not just with her closest friends and family, were also background checked. And then, so...
Yeah, I think there was a debate about whether or not, like, she's like, I'll still marry you, but you have to tell people you did this. Mm-hmm. And that was, like, a debate. It was kind of an interesting one. I think there's definitely some weird behavior going on. And we kind of suspect, though it was never said in the thing, that his family has money, right? Like they're doing a background check. I feel like they're looking for...
They also paid for a fancy vacation in a fancy hotel. So it's like, they got money.
I think it's like, this is probably like an old money family where this is a normal behavior. That was my guess. It was a good one.
It was a good one.
Our second one is emotionally stunted and stuck in high school. This is not an article or anything. This was more of a question, which is like signs people didn't grow up from high school.
And there were so many just gems.
Oh yeah, there were some good ones, including things like still being a part of workplace cliques, which Valerie didn't know was a thing.
I did not.
Because you hadn't experienced it.
I had not. I've only worked for small companies.
I have. I've only worked for small companies too, but it exists in small companies. It's not great.
I guess I'm fortunate.
People who relived the glory days. I definitely talked about some Uncle Rico energy from Napoleon Dynamite. Or people who still go to high school parties. And that one I definitely touched on. I think we both touched on personal experiences where we knew a guy who was way too old to be going to high school parties, but was still going to and hitting on high schoolers. Mm-hmm.
And then he thought he was cool. Like, the guys always think they're cool because they're the ones that can bring the beer.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely a thing. I definitely remember that.
Every school has one of them.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm old enough now that that's so far in the rear view I don't have to think about it anymore, because it definitely creeped me out at the time. And I was never that guy. I didn't do that, but man, that was oof. Anyway.
Gross.
Yep. So... Next one. This one was a good one. I like this one. It's kind of a bit of a little debate too. Am I the asshole for treating people in the service industry like a human?
Oh yes. Okay.
This one, you want to summarize this one?
Okay, so this is the one where a girl had chronic illness. She eventually went to like a gym to get help from a trainer coach. He did a really good job, and so she gave him a card with a gift card, and like I said in the episode, it's like the most unpersonal gift you can give a person. Mm-hmm. But Homedu's potentially not girlfriend, like...
No, it's wife.
His wife.
It was his wife.
That's right. His wife confronted her.
Yeah, and asked her to fire the personal trainer, her husband. She's like, please fire my husband. This makes me uncomfortable.
Which is just wild.
And she refused. She's like, I'm not going to fire your husband. My life is so much better now because of all the work we've done. And, we kind of got into like, is this okay? Should she have honored her opinions? Apparently... her friends thought she should have honored her opinions, like should have honored the wife. But, we're talking about like, this is at a public place, it's at a gym, it's not a private thing. And like you said, the gift card is the least personal gift you can give. And I think the note was just like, best regards, happy holidays or something. Like nothing personal or salacious.
It was very nice, very polite, arm's length at best.
Yes. The next one is a personal favorite of mine. This is the Wedding Dress Thieves Family Suspects. This is where the mother-in-law and the sisters-in-law, I guess, didn't like the wedding dress that the girl had picked, and so they went into her house and stole it
Oh my God.
and hid it away and then gave her a replacement dress that they approved of. She got very upset and like suspected something was going on. And I guess the father-in-law ended up returning the dress. And I think she was like, I want to uninvite them to the wedding.
Yeah.
And that was like a big point of contention.
Wild.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It's just like sometimes people do stupid things, but the amount of people make bad decisions.
Yes.
I don't know if we talked about in this episode. People make bad decisions, but to do what they did, to steal the dress and replace it, isn't one bad decision.
No.
That is a chain of bad decisions where you had multiple points where you could be like, this is a bad idea. Why are we doing this? But they never did. They didn't get there. It required someone else's intervention to undo all the bad decisions.
It's wild. It was absolutely
Nuts.
wild.
Absolutely nuts. Okay, you're going to talk about this one. Dear Abby, I think my neighbor is cheating with my married lover.
Okay, so this is a web one, and I remember this one so clearly.
Yeah, this one was definitely memorable.
So
I'm shocked this one didn't win.
Right? So this is Homegirl. Homegirl has a neighbor and a lover. Homegirl's lover's married. Homegirl's neighbor's married.
Mm-hmm.
Her lover starts messing around with her neighbor, and she's jealous, and she wants to blow the whole thing up.
Yeah. For information, if everyone doesn't remember, she's been cheating with this married man for 30 years.
Yes.
They've been having an affair for 30 years. And now that he's sleeping with someone else as well, that's when she wants to blow up. It's not even like he stopped sleeping with her. He's just also sleeping with someone else. And now it's not okay.
Yes.
Also, it's funny because I think I brought this up. They never mention whether she's married. The author, we don't know if she's married.
Yeah. It's
We
never
kind of get the feeling not, because I feel like she would have brought it up, but
who knows?
who knows?
It's wild.
It's wild.
It's very wild.
Yeah, that one was good. I still am shocked that one didn't win. It must have been a really good month because that one's solid. That one's gold. Okay, so next one is blindsided divorce with no explanation. This one is the one where man and woman have married for a long time. I don't remember the exact amount of time. And he very kind of suddenly brought up that he wanted a divorce. And
he initiated a divorce.
Yeah,
without talking to her.
I think he told her, but yeah, there was not a lot of discussion. It was just, we're getting a divorce, right? It wasn't, I want a divorce. It was like, we're getting a divorce. And she was very upset and felt like she was blindsided and felt like she owed his own explanation, but he didn't really give her one. And this wasn't super interesting because of how cringy the episode was.
The content was fine. It was
us. We got a little heated about that one. We were definitely fighting on that one because I think was of the opinion that, like, you know, as much as I think that it would have been good to give an explanation, no one is owed an explanation for someone else's behavior. Like, they get to do what they want to do. Personal autonomy is paramount.
And I disagree. It's like, yes, he can absolutely get a divorce if that's what he wants to do, but he owes her an explanation because of how long and how much they should have meant to each other and how much of her life he had taken away with no explanation of why. Yeah. I feel like that's so morally wrong.
Yeah.
And we were going to bat. We were going to bat for it.
I think there was, like, I had the suspicion that their marriage had probably been estranged for some time and they weren't really talking. Because, like, if you don't know that someone doesn't want to be in a marriage with you, you have not been paying attention.
But she said that she felt blindsided. So if he had been feeling it,
lots of people get estranged and don't necessarily know that they are.
Yeah, but see, that's what he should have said to her. We're not going to argue again.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into this again.
See, we already got this gets honorable mention for that alone.
Yeah, because every time we talk about it.
Okay, so the next one.
Yes.
Is I'm not cheating, you're cheating. This one was interesting. It was a woman who had been married for 18 years to her husband. He cheated on her a few years in, I think like 3 years into the relationship. And now they're still together 18 years later. They have a new baby. She is the sole provider. He no longer works. But he goes out and parties a lot with younger women. This is how he ended up cheating the first time. And now the husband is still partying and doing all this stuff, despite the fact they have a new baby, and he's the stay-at-home parent. But now he's accusing her of cheating because she got a new job where she's working long hours. So he's accusing her of cheating rather than, working long hours to provide for the family that she's the sole provider for.
I completely have forgotten about this one.
Yeah, I had forgotten about this episode too until we were going through them again, and I'm like, wait, what is this episode? And we were listening, I'm like, oh my god, this was good. Was a story. And I'm surprised I forgot it.
Right, like, when we were going through them, I remember bits of most of them. I remember some entirely. This one, when we had to go back and listen to it, and everything I was listening to coming out of my own voice was like, wow. Oh, wow.
Is a lot of, oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oh my gosh, wow. Yeah. So there was a lot going on there.
Yeah. I don't know why we forgot about it.
I don't know either. It didn't win, and we did forget about it. So I'm not sure what happened there. Something went on.
Glitch in the Matrix.
Our last honorable mention, and this one, again, does not get honorable mention for the story itself. It gets honorable mention because of our interaction on it.
Oh, God.
Which was, oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask why it's not a salad.
Which is my favorite episode ever.
And this one, if you haven't listened to it or you don't remember it, is the one, this is just entirely good because of Val's delivery of it and my suffering throughout. Because this was a MySpace post, I believe,
yes,
that you were reading where the person included likes and ums in the text. Like, they wrote out, this, like, blah, 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 like, blah, blah, blah. And they wrote this? I say, like, I don't write it. But you just sold it. You got real into it. It was very good.
And it was like before Karens were a Karen too. It was like an early...
The term Karen didn't exist at the point that this was written. But it was definitely it was a server dealing with a Karen at a restaurant.
Like regular Karen interaction. But oh my God, it was so much fun.
It's one of those things where I'm like, if I had read this now, if it was written now, I'd be like, this is satire, right?
Yeah.
This has to be satire. But in the time it was written, I don't think it was.
No. No, it was beautiful, and I will forever love it. And I still think of your body hunched over the longer I go on.
Yeah.
And watching your soul leak out of your eyeballs.
Yeah. Oh my God. I suffered for that one.
So those are the honorable mentions next week, in next week's episode.
Next week, we're going to be breaking a lot of these down into polls. So the reason we brought up the honorable mentions is several reasons. One, next week, we're going to have some polls for what one was the overall winner for the year. What was the overall honorable mention? I think that should be a category.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to be breaking the winners and the honorable mentions down into other categories as well, such as the best relationship-based episode, the best bad parenting episode, the best wedding episode, the best junk drawer, which is kind of our catch-all category.
Exactly.
And we also have one that we didn't bring up. We're going to talk about it next episode, which is the least cringy. So those ones we'll be describing those episodes in next episode because we didn't bring them up yet.
And then once that episode is posted, polls will be on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Put in your voices. We're taking the last week of December off to regroup for January come the new year. I guess we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Be ready. Re-listen to episodes if you need to. I know we needed to. Yeah,
we definitely re-listened to a few of these, or at least the description of what it was. Though we definitely got caught up in some of the banter as well.
We did.
Yeah, they're short episodes. They're fun. You can just dig through them. I dug through a lot getting ready for this. So
we'll see you next week, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.